And we're back with another installment of Watch Grant do things the hard way, because that's apparently the only way I know how to do it. I have got to make templates for all the windows in this R23 Ranger Tug. Now, the same thing is the way that I do it in a van window. I've also got to do the floors in the cab and out back, because we want to do inhabit floor mats, because I particularly don't care for the EVA foam decking on the floor surfaces. I do like it for like steps and things like that, but it doesn't have any EVA foam or anything in the living area in here. And in the back, some of the pieces are coming up, so we're going to replace those with 3 big inhabit mats back there. So we're going to make some physical templates as well as make digital templates. So we're going to start with the back window back here, because I think it's going to be the hardest, and work our way forward and around, and hopefully in the next couple hours get this done. I'm not going to record all of this, but if you have any interest in just watching how I process and do things, then cool. If not, also awesome. We've got other videos, hopefully, that'll keep you entertained. But I'm gonna get to it and start figuring stuff out. All right, so a couple of the tools that we'll be using to do this are a compass. Mainly, this is so I can do a radius for a corner, such as in the bottom. Well, you can't really see it, but in the bottom of the window, there's a radius there, or on the floor for edges and things like that. So I can measure the radius and then make a practical one and just make sure that it's the same, because I don't trust my ability to get it right the first time. So remember, measure twice, cut once. I'm trying to do this so we don't have to make prototypes twice. The other thing we're going to use is a digital angle finder. This allows me to figure out the angles, such as this area here and in this one, to make sure that everything is nice and copacetic. Another thing that I love to use is a carpenter square that has measurements, mainly because this is a good way to figure out your radius. So you typically measure your radius from where the turn starts on either point, and then whatever that intersects at gives you the radius typically. So that's a good way for smaller radiuses to figure that out. And then obviously a tape measure, and that's about it for the measuring devices. But there are some stuff that'll make it easier to actually do it. So let's take a look at that. Especially for like floors, it's really nice to use this, but it's also good for windows and things like that. But a hot glue gun, and we take a RAM board and cut it into strips so that we can hot glue them together. And this allows us to make a nice little framework and then do a couple X pieces, and that gives us a very accurate template that we can either transfer that straight on to something else, or use that to reference when I'm back at the shop doing more programming or checking fitment or things like that. So we'll actually use this on the windows to mark out the perimeter, and then put in some cross braces and be good to go. So let's start on the window and go for it. So I got the first one done. Boop. I think it's pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Hot glued it. It's all good to go. Gonna transfer this to Reflectix out there and then test fit it. And with that, we have a perfectly fitting template of what the window cover needs to be. Now, from here, it's take this and then digitize it, which we're gonna put into VCarve a little later on. and then I'll end up cutting a wood version to make sure that, because this is all flat except for the windshield, which is going to be curved. But basically I can cut a wood version of this to make sure it's perfect. And then I know that the CAD is good, and then I'll send that off to Simon at They Made Gear to make this into a final production. But I'm also going to make some prototype ones, because honestly he's a really busy guy and I'm not sure that he can get them done in time for an event that we have. So I'm going to make some prototypes to make sure they work and see if we need to make any changes, because often just because it's perfect here, through use you find that maybe this would be better, or should tuck up here, or maybe it should be a little longer here to, you know, do better light isolation and that kind of stuff. And while I'm not a professional sewer person, I am pretty okay, so we're going to make some temporary ones. He's currently making the ones for all the hatches and the ports, so that we'll have those, and as well as the skylights up front. And those were kind of the more complex ones that we needed. So I'm going to do the prototypes on this, and then as long as these are good prototype-wise, then we'll have the final measurements, so we can do the production ones. So I'm going to now do all the rest of these, and you can watch me do it through a sped up time lapse that hopefully you'll see now. So this one fits in here like a glove. Like a glove! Now the cool part is that because it's actually symmetrical side to side, this fits perfect over on the port side. So now I've got one window left, and then I can do the windshield, which I think is going to kind of suck, but we'll find out. So let's get it done. All right, well, another one done. Perfect fitment all the way around the edge. Just a hair bit of overhang, about an 1/8 inch, which is perfect. We don't want any light to get in. Now, what I've been honestly dreading is the windshield, which seems very straightforward, but it's like a rectangle. And here, you know what? Let's turn around. Let's take a look at it. All right, so as you can see here, so this is basically kind of a trapezoid-y-ish shape. So it's not relatively square like most of this is. That back window was the only kind of weird one. So what my goal here to do is to go from the bottom of this all the way to the top. And the reason for that is I would like to tuck the bottom of the shade down in this channel that's right here, and then just do a couple snaps up here on the top and then in the corners here. So let's see what happens. I've got to go cut more strips for the ram board because I ran out. So I'm going to go do that and then come back and we're going to make this side. The cool part here is these are symmetrical.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
So I don't have to do all that much, but I do have to figure this out. So I'm gonna go do that. Okay, I'm done. it is in fact not symmetrical. The cutout for this is different, and there's also a step down here in the thing that's different. So there is a port and starboard side, but we have them. We're good to go. So all the window covers are done. I just need to make an adjustment on this side, which I already have. So when I go to program it and or make the hard version, so I can have a template to cut things out, I'll add that 1/8 of an inch on one end, this end here, and we'll be good to go. So this part is done. So thanks for hanging out with me. It's been a relatively long day on this. I think I'm at like 2.5 hours making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 templates. It's just tedious. It just takes a while. I mean, that's why custom stuff is relatively expensive. But thanks to the time that I have into it, these are soon going to be available as an item for the Ranger Tug R23s, at least the, I think, 2018 and newer anyways. We're also confirming fitment. I believe the windshield should be the same on the 25 and 27. I will confirm that fitment, and once it's released, let everybody know. But we'll have all the hatches, the skylights up here, all the windows, everything. The same technology that we use. Like, I see a lot of people with just this, and I've got to tell you, like, you still feel heat on the other side. It is a massive reduction in the radiant heat that is coming in, right? But this doesn't do any insulation. This doesn't actually keep all of the heat out. And our goal here is to maximize the effectiveness and efficiency of our heating and cooling systems inside the boat. So by covering all the windows, by adding actual insulation instead of just canvas or just Reflectix, it will make a significant difference in the amount of time that your heater in the winter or your AC in the summer have to run, because it will keep all that air in and keep it separate from the outside, not just a little bit of heat barrier. Like, I mean, you can still feel heat. And once we have the window covers done, we'll actually do a side-by-side of canvas versus just the Reflectix, and then with the actual full window shade. And it is 100% going to blow your minds. Thanks again for hanging out with us and letting us help you upgrade your adventure. If you have any questions, by all means, let us know. Hit the freedomvangogh.contact. If you see us at an event or see us somewhere, say hi. Also, leave a comment down in the thing if you have any questions, and we'll absolutely get back to you quickly. So thanks, and enjoy your day.